is back in the news. To speak to us about this, we do have Julius Mukonda, the Executive Director of the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, you were part of the group in 2016 that was against this idea.
Yes.
5 years later, we are still in the same position. Why?
We've learned nothing. And I think it is coming true to say that politicians are not with us. Because 10 years ago, the parliamentary budget was 167 billion Ugandan shillings. Today, we are budgeting for 667 billion, a 300% increment. And every parliamentary, every new parliament has to get those new vehicles. They have to get the iPads. The iPads also are coming. We are going to pay for them with the airtime. And remember that they also don't pay OTT, which they also put.
So, Mr. Mukonda, what does this say about government priorities?
That politicians are not with us, and that as ordinary citizens we are on ourselves. And I think it's not even not parliament alone. I think we should also look at all administrative expenses that are not necessary. I mean, if you are buying ambulances, I would say, okay, fine. It is necessary.
That 150 is going in the right place.
It's going in the right place. Okay, let's close the parliament for 1 month and see whether we actually miss it. If we close judiciary for 1 week or 1 month, you would just feel the thing there. But I think it's high time that parliament, this parliament now is the best parliament to pass very good laws for the next parliament, because they have a grudge to make, because half of them are not coming back, but also it would be good for the society. So the president really should look at this and see how we can reduce this. Either we only buy for the new ones and the old ones don't, but I feel strongly that this kind of administrative expense is a wastage of taxpayers' money.
And recently, government had to reschedule a bond payment, which in some countries would be called a debt default. But somehow the same government is about to borrow a luxury, like cars.
I mean, it is simple. Your revenue has, for the first time in 30 years, our revenue projections have reduced. But our expenses continue going up. It is a simple logic that if you have a growth, you must cut it by its size. So you can't borrow money to buy luxuries. You borrow money for investment to get returns. Maybe you can do luxuries. It's like a family that has been spending money luxury, but knowing in the bank account there is some money. But if the inflows are dwindling, as a family you sit down and cut on your expenses. If there was a vacation, you remove it. But we seem not to learn that. That treasury, it has no money. There is no money in the treasury. Especially after these elections. There is no money in treasury. So if we continue like this, I can assure you that we are going to become a highly indebted, poor country again.
It's like going to a well with a basket that is full of holes, no work done. But then Mr. Mukonda would like to know, where is this money coming from, yes, that government wants to use in the next financial year?
I mean, we are only collecting 47% of the 45 trillion that we have. And you have mentioned one thing, which is very critical, and I think Ugandans need to understand. This debt refinancing is like, I'm supposed to pay you today, but I can't pay you today because I don't have enough money. Let me pay you tomorrow. In a business sense, in a business language, it makes sense. But if I continue postponing for the next 4, 5, 6, 8 years, and that refinancing is also increasing, it means I'm having a problem. There's going to be a point you will say, stop, hold on. For the last 10 years, you have not been paying me all my amount as per the agreement. What is going to happen? So these are indications that if we do not start austerity now, at this particular period, and actually we can even blame COVID, let me tell you, the 4 or 5 years to come, somebody is going to force us to do it.
Julius Mukonda, the Executive Director, Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group. Many thanks, sir, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's take a look at some